Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for asking me to be here to share my thoughts, my experiences about and with theater with you. Yes, I would have been a university teacher, I would have been a writer, but would have never been able to be a playwright or a director or an actor. In fact, I call myself a playwright by choice, a director by chance, and an actor by force. My stint with theater began in early 70s. Now you can very well know that how old I am. And when I did an English play in a small town, in a nondescript town called Bahraich in eastern UP, where I think nobody spoke English and nobody understood English. And we performed the play in English without knowing and understanding this language, and had the audience spellbound. We performed a play called Lal Qile Ka Aakhri Mushaira in early 70s. Hats off to my teacher, hats off to his vision that we performed that play when we were kids. We were hardly 6 to 7 year old boys and girls, and I could muster the courage to perform that play again only in 2013. Well, and then there was a long dissociation with theater. I was into sports. I joined Aligarh Muslim University. I was more into sports. I was a reasonably well hockey and cricket player. But I used to watch plays at Aligarh. And whatever I am as far as theater is concerned, I am because of Aligarh. And also because I learned theater while watching theater. I mean, I have never been trained into theater, so I learned theater by watching theater, and this is what I wish to discuss with you, and this is what I wish to talk about. See, when we talk about theater in university, theater in schools, nobody considers them as serious theater, isn't it? Have you ever heard of a play by school students having been documented? Have you ever heard of some very good plays taking place at college level, taking place at university level? That is the, I mean, this is what I feel. I may be wrong. Theater is something, I mean, you cannot watch all the theater and theater happening everywhere in the world or everywhere in your country, even in your city, because it is something which you have to be physically present there to watch. But I feel that best of the theater is happening at school level and at university level. Now the real problem. This is an art. Unfortunately, this is an art which has not been documented. For instance, if you just go through a book on contemporary theater in India, it would talk about theater happening in 70s. It would talk about theater happening in 80s and not beyond that. This is where I don't know. I mean, whether since I'm addressing students of a university which is associated with technology, I don't know whether you can find a solution to it or not. Unfortunately or fortunately, theater and technology are estranged couples. They do not gel well. They do not go together. if I have to perform a play, I have to perform it, every time I have to perform it, I have to be physically present there and perform. And that is why nobody would believe and nobody would agree with me. Theater is the costliest form of arts. You can say no, I mean, you need to invest not more than 30 to 40 to 50,000 rupees to perform a play, even less than that. And when it comes to movie, when it comes to cinema, when it comes to even TV serials and series, you have to invest rupees in lakhs and crores. But once you are done with that project, then it can be screened thousands of times for say 100 of years. But if you have to perform a play twice, you have to perform it again, you have to perform it afresh. So this is one of the reasons why there cannot be a general documentation on for example, theater happening in India. I don't know whether we can find a solution to that or not. We talk a lot about our theater, Natya Shastra and tradition as far as theater is concerned, but really it has not been very well documented. We have one national school of drama. You must have heard about many cinema artists who you know as theater artists as well. For example, Amitabh Bachchan. Is there still anyone alive who had watched Amitabh Bachchan on stage? Now come to another very prominent famous actor, Naseeruddin Shah is supposed to be a great theater artist. But his films are very well documented. His stage shows are not. The plays which he had done as a student of National School of Drama in early 70s are not at all documented. So some of the brilliant performances, for example, a play called Tughlaq, when its premiere show had happened, it had happened at a fort, at a qila, that has not been documented. This is the problem which we are going to face when we are going to write about, or when even now if I sit down to write about the history of theatre in India, even history of contemporary theatre in India, history of modern theatre in India, history of theatre post 1947, I don't have much resources, much information to bank upon. I do not know what could be the possible solution to that. Should every performance be shot? Should it be I mean, there should be it should be shot, and it should be preserved also. Moreover, a performance has to be performed many times. So will you be doing it once only, or will you be doing it every time when it is performed? And every time when it is performed, there are certain changes as far as cast is concerned, as far as the storyline is concerned, as far as sets and props are concerned. So what could be the possible solution to what I say, save theatre? If you can suggest one of the ways and means to one, save theatre; two, preserve theatre; three, to come to know about it. I come back to theatre at school level and university level. These are dismissed as amateurish theatre. Nobody has talked about them. Nobody has written about them. Most of these performers who we know as great cinema artists, they all had been doing theatre at university level. They all had been doing theatre at school level and college levels. But we have not been able to document what they had done in the past. And this is what I have personally witnessed, I have personally seen. For example, Nasiruddin Shah is one of the great actors when, as far as his exploits in cinema are concerned. But if you watch him on stage, he is comparatively much better, much better. If you watch him on stage, you will stop watching his movies, despite the fact that he is one of the best actors of India. And to me, the best contemporary actors in India. So, for example, you must have heard about, you must have seen him also, an actor called Tom Alter. Must have seen doing many Angrez roles in Hindi cinema. He speaks impeccable Urdu, impeccable Hindi. And when he performs on stage as Ghalib or as Maulana Azad or as Bahadur Shah Zafar, he strangely, he looks like Ghalib. He looks like Bahadur Shah Zafar. But not many people would be knowing about the stage performances of actors like Tom Alter or Nasiruddin Shah. While some nondescript roles these people have done in cinema, they are still remembered for. So, this is where we have to see to it that whether yes, we can save theatre as an art form because it would be performed at not only at school level and college level and university level and at national level also. It would be performed at local levels also. It would be performed in the form of Ramlila, in the form of various mythical stories. It is seeped in our culture, it is seeped in our tradition. But in coming future, say after 50 years or so, we would not be able to prove that we used to do theatre at large scale, at a great level, but it suffered at the hands of those forms of art which were supported by technology. So with this, I request you to see to it that how we can save, preserve theatre for posterity with the help of technology. Thank you so much.